be precise. Well, to be precise, the meeting was with officials of the Ministry of Finance, to be exact, the Honorable Minister of Finance, Mr. Samuel Toy, the Minister of Youth and Sports, Goga Wilson, and the City Mayor of Monrovia, Jefferson Koji, together with Solomon Joy. Representative Solomon Joy of, I think, District 8, Masrada County, on the one hand, and representatives of the student movement, the Liberia National Student Union, the Federation of Liberia Youth, FLA, and the Mana River Union Youth Parliament. In addition, there were other groups that supported the action that was to be taken tomorrow. The civil society organizations, they call them civil servants, teachers, health workers, disabled people, and others. And the essence of the meeting was to find amicable solution to the grievances of these students and private sector or public sector workers. And I think we've made progress to the effect that the planned action that should have been taken tomorrow has been, in a way, postponed indefinitely, pending further discussions with government authorities. We are not saying they have cancelled it completely, but at least tomorrow that action will not be taken. Rather, these groups have agreed to meet with relevant government ministries and authorities tomorrow at the ministerial complex, at the Civil Service Agency, to discuss practical solutions to these problems, because these are not problems that the Ministry of Finance alone can solve. There are teachers involved, you have Ministry of Education, you have House Committee on Education, House Committee on Youth and Sport, and other bodies in the government sector will also be present. Then we'll discuss practical solutions to this problem. But in principle, the Minister of Finance agreed to address many of these grievances. And there were clear hints as to how those issues will be addressed. But the detailed practical solution will be discussed tomorrow when the other officials of government will be present together with all of these student and public sector workers.
Basically, what were some of the issues put forth by these public sector workers?
There were many.
Key among them.
To talk about the harmonization of salary. People are not understanding how they are being paid, what amount actually they should be receiving as salary, because there seems to be lack of understanding regarding how much, like in terms of Nigerian dollars, they are supposed to be receiving from the government. So the government, the minister tried to explain how it happened, and I think the practical issue will be discussed tomorrow. Then we have the issue of the allotment, the allocations to the various student and youth groups. I think was agreed by the minister that, in fact, the money that was reduced was too drastic, that there has to be significant increment in the allotment. And in other words, to restore what they had before to a significant degree. And I think the minister agreed to that. So it means instead of $25,000 for lanes or $25,000 for fly per annum, there will be a significant increment. What that amount will be discussed tomorrow in detail. But at least the minister agreed in principle. So there are many other issues. And another thing was the issue of coordination. So the minister agreed to pay two persons one to be recommended by the student and youth groups, and the other to be recommended by the other public sector workers. They'll be in his office, he will pay them, and they will be the link between his office and this group, so that the gaps that have been existing, that created some communication problems and follow-up problems with others, instructions given, those issues will be resolved. So that commitment has been made to, and in due course, they will be making the recommendations of the people that will be representing them in the minister's office, so that these communication gaps will be closed.
Is there any other question you want to ask? Anyone else you want to ask? Well, that's also
so basically, to my end, with the information you providing that tomorrow's action is said to be postponed, are you having a fixed assurance about what you are saying in terms of a fixed guarantee?
Oh yes, the students and the public sector workers, the pensioners, the disabled people, all of them agree that that action will not be taken tomorrow. Rather, they will go to a meeting with the government to discuss practical ways out of the problems that they have. But we are saying tentatively because, God forbid, if the government fails to honor its commitment made today to find practical solutions, they may schedule another action. In that case, unfortunately, we may not be involved. But we believe that the Honorable Minister will honor everything he said here today, and that at the meeting tomorrow, those practical steps that they agreed will be taken tomorrow. And there will be a memorandum of understanding that will be signed tomorrow by the various parties and the government. And we believe that will be at least a way out of the current crisis.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And so, KMTV, the National Chief Imam, has been giving an update on the planned April 14th sit-in actions. Recently, we heard a press conference from civil society organizations, students' union, and this was where the meeting, along with the Minister of Finance, was held, and the April 14th sit-in action has been postponed, and tomorrow will be a general meeting where government officials and other student groupings, youth groupings, along with the teachers and civil servants will be having a meeting to come to a logical conclusion on tomorrow. Until then, my name is Zach Torchema Sherman, and I've been here to bring an update.